Hello and welcome to TMR Shorts. Today's video is about the largest private sector corporation in India, the company with a market capitalization of 8,63,996 crores. Yes, I'm talking about Reliance Industries Limited. Reliance for a lot of people is an oil and petroleum giant, whereas nowadays a lot of people know Reliance because of the Jio SIM cards. So our objective behind this video is to understand the overall strategy of the largest conglomerate of India. We will see how they have been shifting their focus from the traditional oil and petroleum business to the retail space. Not just retail space, they are also getting into the e-commerce market, which is going to be a tough competition for Amazon and Flipkart in the coming years. So we will discuss how they have been doing this since the past 2 to 3 years. And for this, it becomes essential for us to understand the business verticals into which they operate. So there are these 6 business verticals under which Reliance operates, and the first 3 fall under energy and material segment, which is refining and marketing, petrochemicals, oil and gas exploration. The next is consumer business, which has Reliance Retail, digital services, which is Jio, and media and entertainment. So these are the 6 major business verticals. I think now we can move on to the fundamentals of the company, or let us see a few key parameters of the business. So the first indicator we have got here is the turnover. And as you see, the turnover is going up consistently since the last 3 years, and the year-on-year growth for the FY19 is 44.6%. Profit after taxes is also going up consistently, and the year-on-year growth for FY19 is 13.1%. Similar is the case with EPS. It has been increasing, and one point to be noted here is that there was a bonus issue which was done by the company, and that is why the prices have been adjusted. Debt to equity ratio is at a consistent level of 0.75 to 0.74. Dividend per share is also going up, and the market capitalization of the company has gone up by 54.5% in FY19, and if we were to calculate the CAGR, then it is 31.9% since the launch of the IPO. So if we look at all these indicators, one thing is sure that the fundamentals of the company are in a good shape, they are strong, and the next step is to understand how much is each vertical contributing to the total revenue and the EBIT of the business. So here we have a few pie charts which will give us an idea of how much revenue is Reliance making segment wise. So in the year FY16, the total revenue from the energy and material business was 94%. And as we move on to FY19, it has reduced to 74%. And similarly, if we were to talk about EBIT, then in the year FY16, to the energy and material business, it has contributed 96%. And as we go down to FY19, it has become 79%. From 96, it has come down to 79. So one thing we understand is that the energy and material businesses share in this entire pie is reducing, and the consumer businesses pie is increasing. So in the total revenue of the consumer business has gone up from 6% in FY16 to 25% in FY19. And if we talk about the EBIT figures, then for this year FY19, total EBIT is 22% from digital and retail vertical. So it is pretty evident that the consumer business all in all is increasing its share in the pie, and the traditional business is going on reducing year by year. So this makes us to move on to an important announcement that Mukesh Ambani had done in their last AGM. So the chairman and MD of Reliance, he had said that he hopes that the consumer business wing of the group will contribute as much as to the earnings as the core energy business does by the end of 2028. He had also spoken about a new e-commerce platform that they are aiming to come up with, a technology platform which they want to launch, which will integrate the Reliance Retail's infrastructure with the digital infrastructure. So this is what he had spoken about. And on the similar lines, what they have been doing in terms of mergers and acquisitions is what becomes very important for us to understand. So if I were to give you a few examples of what Reliance has done in the last 2 years, then I'll give you a few examples out there. So they have got 66% stake in DEN for their Geo Giga Fiber. Again, they have got 51% stake in Hathway for Geo Giga Fiber. Next is they have got 1/4 of stake, that is 25%, in Balaji Telefilms, which is for majorly content creation and for Jio Cinemas and Jio TVs. They've acquired 73% stake in Imbibe, which is for online education. Also, you all must be knowing Savan, which is online music streaming app. They got it for 670 crores. Then they have 87% stake in Haptic. So it was for 700 crores, and this could compete against Google's Assistant and Amazon's Alexa. Coming down to a few more acquisitions, they have got 76% equity in EasyGov. So EasyGov is a software as a service startup. It enables the citizens to search and apply for various Indian government schemes. They have also bought 80% stake in Sankhya Sutra and Revire. So if we were to look at all these companies, then mostly they are into technology, media and telecom sector and retail sector. So all these M&As have a motive of expanding their consumer arm of the company. Also, if you will be aware of the Hemleys that they bought recently, which is into the consumer business. So the actions of Reliance are pretty much relatable to what Mr. Ambani had said during the AGM. Now let us move on to the segment on which the group is so bullish. First we will talk about the digital services arm, and then we will move on to Reliance Retail. So here comes the technology platform of the company, Jio. This has been taken from the Merry Meekers report. The chart on the right hand side shows the Jio wireless internet subscribers, and the red line in it shows the physical retail locations, and both of them are in an uptrend. Now what is Jio exactly? So Jio is aiming to building a digital ecosystem spanning across media and entertainment, commerce, education, healthcare and agriculture. So after the launch of Jio, the overall data usage in India has drastically jumped up, and they have launched these apps across different segments: movie, music, security to finance. There are these three charts now which will give us pretty much overall idea of what is Jio doing. So the wireless data consumption and voice on network is increasing. Plus, as per the TRAI's figures, the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, the subscriber base of Jio is at 331.3 million as per June 2019. So in one quarter they have added 24.5 million people. Now Jio is the India's largest mobile telecom operator, ranked by adjusted gross revenue. So it leads the industry in terms of average revenue per user, ARPU. It is 126.2 rupees per month for an individual. One important stat here is that after serving the needs of 330 plus million consumers, the capacity utilization of Jio is still less than 30%, which means that they can multiply the customer base without any additional investment. And while doing this research, we came across one flaw in this, is that as per the latest research conducted by the global speed test firm Ookla, Reliance Jio has the widest available network in India, but Airtel is the fastest 4G network in India with an average speed of 11.23. So in terms of number of people, in terms of the availability, in terms of ARPU, Reliance Jio has been doing really great, but this is one thing where they have been lacking in terms of the average speed of Jio. Now we can move on to the Reliance Retail arm, and Reliance Retail, which is already the country's biggest brick and mortar retailer in terms of revenue and number of stores, and it is the sixth fastest growing retailer globally. So this is being taken from the report of Deloitte. Now here there are a few key parameters about Reliance Retail, and if you notice each and every parameter, it has been growing. There is a year-on-year growth percentage, be it the number of toys sold in Hemleys to the footfall that they have in their stores. Everything has been going up. Here are the figures which shows us the number of stores. So in 2018 they had 7,500 stores, and it has gone up to 10,415 in 2019. So on an everyday basis they have opened at least 8 stores in this entire year, and I think this is really crazy. Now moving on to the geographical presence, they have got the geographical presence in all the 4 parts of India, so north, south, east and west, which is pretty evident from this particular map out there. Plus they have warehousing facility to the tune of approximately 10 million square feet. So this reduces their dependence on any other external player for inventory management. Also, Reliance has claimed that its retail arm has crossed the milestone of 100 million registered customers and 150 million footfall, establishing its position as the most preferred retailer in India. Now going to the revenue of the company. So this revenue structure, this is the Reliance Retail's revenue structure, and there is 89% rise compared to FY18 figures. So look at it, they made 69,000 crores in FY18 and now they have made 1,30,000 crores in FY19. It has a 89% rise. And this is the consolidated EBITDA revenue. So in FY15, it was 1.8% from both these sections, okay, digital and Reliance Retail. At that point of time, Reliance Digital was not there. And now in FY19, if we were to look at, it has become 17.5%, plus there is 7% which is of organized retail. Now, Reliance covers almost everything in the value chain. So they have groceries, connectivity, petrol retail, all the sectors which are essential for the consumer shopping needs, and they have got various brands under their kitty. So just quickly have a look at all these brands that are there with whom they have tied up or they have either bought. So Hemleys is one they have bought in this chart. Now there is a small comparison here between the 3 retail players in India, Reliance Retail, Future Retail and DMart. So in this comparison, RIL has the highest revenue and per store, and it is this table is going to give us a comparison between Reliance Industries, FRL and DMart, so that we understand where Reliance is standing in terms of this entire retail industry. So talking about the revenue of all these 3 companies, Reliance has got the highest revenue of 1,30,000 crores, and if we sum up the revenue of FRL and DMart, it is only 30% of what Reliance has been making. Again, in the case of number of stores, Reliance has more number of stores compared to FRL and DMart. DMart has got only 176 stores, FRL has 1,500 stores. Next is revenue per square feet. So if we look below, this revenue per square feet is highest for Reliance, second comes DMart and then FRL. One thing where DMart is the highest is for store revenue. It has more for store revenue compared to Reliance and FRL. So I think since Reliance has added all these stores at a rapid pace, which we already spoke about, that is why this particular figure is a little lesser compared to the other 2 companies, especially DMart. So once all these stores are up and running properly, then I think this figure is definitely going to go up in the coming years compared to DMart. So till now we have spoken majorly about the consumer arm of the company. We spoke about the digital services and retail. Now talking about the media arm, media and entertainment. They have got TV channels, digital entertainment, news and commerce, publishing business, and they are market leaders in multiple genres. But as of now, they have not added significantly to the overall revenue structure of the company. and in fact in a few years this particular arm has also made losses. So that is why I believe, depending on the acquisitions that they have been doing, uh, this arm is definitely going to add more profits to the overall business in the coming years. Now this brings me to one very interesting section which is there in the annual report, which states Reliance in our lives every day, every time. So it has given the details of the different companies that Reliance has under its kitty and their products, which we use right from the time we get up to the time we go to bed. So that chart is showcasing their furniture and mattress business, and then it comes down to apparel business once you get ready maybe for your office. After that, they have shown meals, entertainment and parties where Reliance Smart, Reliance Fresh, Book My Show comes. Then they have got Network 18 and Geo News, which is giving you a dose of news every day. For your convenient commute, they have got Reliance Petroleum, Quick Mart and Reflex. They also spoke about digitizing the work. So they have shown the pictures of Geo Cloud, Geo Switch or Geo Money. They have spoken about money control and Forbes, which is giving all the updates related to markets. So now all these, after looking at these charts and these companies, and after realizing that we have been using all of these every day, at least a few products I personally am using since the time I get up to I go to bed. So this brought me to a company which has been working on similar lines. Yes, Amazon, the largest online retailer in the world. So this is the vision and mission statement of Reliance, and I believe it is very much similar to what Reliance's strategy is. Okay, so here Amazon says that they want to be the earth's most customer-centric company, right, where they can find anything that they want online. And similarly, Reliance wants to become a technology platform. So Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, he had always set out to build the everything store, and now after looking at the M&A, mergers and acquisitions, what Reliance is doing, I think Mukesh Ambani is planning the same. And also Amazon has one more similarity. These are the various acquisitions and deals that Amazon had done. So this is only one page. There are a lot of companies that they have taken over depending on their plans. So now when we are comparing Amazon and Reliance, and we think that Reliance is doing something similar to what these e-commerce giants are doing, then we should not miss out on one important pointer, I think, which is the new e-commerce policy. So this new e-commerce policy has got a lot of pointers obviously, but the one thing that has haunted all these marketplace entities is this. I'll read it out for you. It says, entities in which there is equity participation by the marketplace entity cannot sell their products on the platform run by the marketplace. For example, to simplify it, if I am Amazon and I am owning a company named as M, I cannot sell the products of M on my platform. Okay, so this has really affected Flipkart as well as Amazon, and this is a very big challenging thing for both these companies to sustain in India. So now this rule is not going to be applicable obviously for Reliance because it is an Indian company. So they are free to acquire as many companies as they want and onboard their products on the platform that they will create. So they are also in the process of creating this e-commerce platform. They are not just going to stick to the retail business that they have, right? So now as we move towards the conclusion, in this entire video, we have understood the business model of the company, the major businesses that they have, plus how much is the company making from each of the segments and how they are moving towards the consumer arm. We could clearly see that from the pie chart that we'd seen earlier. And then we also spoke about what Mukesh Ambani had to say in their last AGM, and depending on that, how they have been taking different decisions and getting into different deals. So at present, they are into the phase of integrating the digital infrastructure of Jio and the physical presence of retail industry. So they are sort of converting their vision into reality, and also we mainly focused on the consumer arm, which is their focus also. So now it is going to be a really interesting case to see and analyze the foray of Reliance into e-commerce, which is of course going to be a tough competition for other companies that are there in e-commerce space. And again, they don't have to worry about the e-commerce policy because it is not going to be applicable to them. So I believe we will keep you updated about how Reliance is going ahead and what they are doing. We will also look forward to what they have to say in this AGM that they have, and we will keep a